I am the working class guru, here to help the working class people to actualize themselves, to learn to acclimate, and how to be awesome, because it's hard. Okay, it's difficult. You have to repress a lot of, a lot of your beliefs, the things you were raised in. Freedom and justice, they don't necessarily, freedom is different. It's a different kind of feeling for you and for us, for all the working class people who have to retch themselves out of bed in the morning to get to a place where they're basically just little worker bees. That's freedom. Wow, you're very free. But okay, today I want to talk about, I already had it on the tip of my tongue, Sunday Scaries. Let's talk about the Sunday Scaries today. Sunday Scaries are a normal occurrence in any working class person who realizes that their weekend is edging ever more closer and closer. This is a terrifying feeling because it means the loss of that freedom, the loss of your quasi-vacation that has been granted to you, your corporate granted vacation, or at least I think it's granted by a lot of workers, liberation unions. But remember that your weekend is not endowed to you. It could be taken away from you at any time. So you should be thankful that you even have a weekend. Most slaves aren't entitled to this beautiful construction of our modern society. Peace be upon it. Anyway, the idea of the Sunday Scaries is that as that time edges ever closer to becoming Monday, when your weekend is fully coming to a triumphant end, you are feeling this dread, this oncoming angst, this dread, because the next day you have a full week ahead of you of essentially what? Why is it that the idea of beginning your week gives you dread? That's a very existential question, and I think it goes. I've covered this in some other videos, though, too. Is that we don't associate our work lives with our weekend lives. I think the weekend is more or less a representation of how we decide to live as actual people. We get to choose and we get to create as per our given inner desires. We can go out for a beer at any time, etc., etc. There's no one mandating you. There's nobody sitting above you, lording over you, regimenting your day-to-day activities. You're free to be who you are when you want. Whereas the system is oriented. The system is oriented in a way whereby your free time is only limited. Your freedom is only a figment of your freaking imagination. It's a fleeting feeling, people. It's going away. Bye-bye, freedom. It's time to get back to work. And work is not something that's a positive thing in society. Even though we've set everything up, every government bails out the corporations first before they'll bail out the working class people. Everything is decided around the ties of these corporate powers. And the idea is that, well, now goodbye, your freedom's done. This valuable thing, your time, okay, your time is is more valuable than money. In my honest opinion, the money that you're reimbursed for your time in trade for labor is in no way, shape, or form inordinate to the value of your time, and yet we just willingly give it up. We just willingly, it just evaporates. It's gone, and you can't ever get it back. You can never get your time back. It's not like Walmart where if you get you go and you buy some tampons and you're like, hey, these tampons don't work. You could just go and return it, right? You get your money back. You get back the value that you exchanged for. But it's a very different thing. It's terrifying because you're dying every single day. You're doing this menial tasks that are regimented, routine by another person. You're realizing that your freedom is essentially just a facade. Freedom is a facade. And your weekend, the ending of your weekend is the disillusionment, or the Sunday Scaries is just a mere disillusionment of the fact that you've been you've been bought and sold. You've been fooled, people. You've been tomfooled into believing that you're free, and now you have to. I mean, the whole even that concept of you can leave your job, you can go get what do? You get another job. The idea of leaving your job is a facade too, of your freedom to leave a job. I mean, you can leave any job, like Marx says. As working class people, we don't belong to any one master. We belong to the entire industrial master, capital owning, producing owners of means of production as a whole, as a widespread thing. And so that's why you feel the Sunday Scaries. There's certain ways to overcome the Sunday Scaries. For one, that's just the Sunday Scaries. I'll make another video on how to overcome the Sunday Scaries. I am your host, the Working Class Guru. Let's keep it simple here. If you like this, go like and subscribe. Go to workingclassguru.com. You can, I'll put some links in the bottom in the description. All right. Thank you very much. I am your host, the Working Class Guru, here to help you to determine your life, to realize your inner being in the capitalist system, to grow spiritually, to help just alleviate some of the angst and dread that is leading a lot of these working class people into these horrible, horrible systems like communism, socialism, talking about this. But today I'm going to talk about that in general. I want to talk about why is there no alternative to life in the capitalist system. Why is there no opt-out? And I think it's funny that in a post-enlightenment age of secular social democracy, we all are a priori required participants in an economic system which more or less alienates you, exploits you, teaches you to be a complacent sheeple in a structure that more or less determines your worth based solely on a meritocratic arbitrage of free market consumerism and what a bourgeoisie capitalist overlord is willing to pay you for your labor. And it's a disillusioning feeling. I get it. I've lived it for many years now. And it leads a lot of people into some crazy ideas. I mean, there's a lot of neuroses and maladaptions that are a product directly of the tyranny of constantly being regimented, reformed, treated as a mere peon, as a mere product to be bought and sold to the highest bidder. And there's the depression that comes with it, anxieties. But we don't have to live with these people, and that's what I'm here for. I'm here to teach you how to adapt, how to come together traditionally, how to set aside and to determine, just learn to read. I don't know if my hat's on right or wrong. It's kind of functioning. There you go, big boy. You got it. You did it. Just how to read a lot of some of the baloney. I almost said it. I almost got defunded from YouTube. I almost said the word. You almost said a naughty word there. You almost got demonetized. I'm going to teach you how to read and understand the textual mediated propaganda ideologies that are transmitted to you from the big screen. Why? But let me get back to this. Why is there no opt-out of capitalism? Why? How come once you've been born, let's say you're born, one person is born to a multi-billionaire family, and another little baby is born to a migrant worker family. Like, if we're to lay the groundwork of a tabula rasa society where everything is based on this meritocratic social hierarchy whereby your ability is the main and primary determinant of the factor of your own divine will and willpower, then why is it that homeboy over here, I think it was over here, multi-billionaire baby, has a better chance of maintaining that life than little migrant baby? My family was Armenian origin, and look, we haven't been able to get out of the working class either in 4 generations. Why? Why is it that maybe this guy has a better chance than this guy? Well, it's because just the power structure. Power structure wants to maintain. It's always trying to maintain itself, its dominance. Nobody wants to give up their privilege. I don't blame them. You know, I don't want to give up my privilege. I will not give up a centimeter of my privilege. Not a centimeter. And it's for that very reason. But I want to understand and better help people to just come together. And we can't get out of this system. But why is there no opt-out? And it's for that very reason. It's just because the power structures, they want to continue their familial patrimonial ties down the line. I want to hand this power, my real estate, my bonds, my stock to my son. I want him to do good. It's just the basic instinctual evolutionary way that humans are hardwired. There's the need to not only just take care of yourself and your own needs, but also to the needs of your progeny and the people of your constantly evolving little babies. You know, you gotta get the next generation, but my generation will be better than this guy's generation. My generation over here is gonna be the strongest, and the weakest will be left to the dust. And that's the way it is. I mean, there's no way about it. He will struggle and fight in every single day of his life. He will be at my mercy, doing as I tell him to do. He will be nothing more than just a mere utility to my holy demands. And that's difficult for people. I see why people would want to get out of it. Another reason why there's no opt-out for capitalism is just because people are used to it. People have been taught when you teach. When you train a dog from a puppy. They're easier to train when they're puppies because they're used to that consistency. You're always giving them treats, giving them reinforcing their behavior, getting them to roll over, do this, do that, do this, do that. And then they get used to it. They don't want to change. You can't teach a new dog old tricks. Old dog, new tricks, sorry. And it's the same thing with people. If you get a person, this is why religions do this all the time. They want to teach their children indoctrination, okay? Indoctrination is a true thing. Brainwashing. It gets people comfortable. It gets them used to it. And they don't want to change. Nobody wants to change. It's the devil we know versus the devil that we don't know. And so it keeps people in the perpetuation of a system, even if it's an alienating and horrible system. It's there, and people are accustomed to it. They understand it. They know how to play the game, and they don't want to get out of it. But there's no opt out, and it's woven itself into the very fabric of the nature of our system. But the thing is that it's souring. It's going sour, and there needs to be a adaptation. It goes back to that evolutionary instinct in us all. It's not that Darwin didn't say that survival of the fittest. He said survival of the most adaptive. Those who adapt to those who evolve will be able to weather the storm. And this new sort of we're gonna become socialists. We gotta become socialists. It can work in theory, but in practice, like, we've all seen how it happens. We've all seen. I don't even know why we would bring it up anymore. It's a horrible system. Look at the problems we just had in China. They're responsible for the global pandemic we're experiencing right now with COVID-19. I mean, if they didn't have this I'm not trying to blame it on their ethnicity, by all means, but remember that they are a nation. They're a government, and they are an idealistic system. And the totalitarian, authoritative regime, instead of having a free society, free expression, when an individual of their highest ranking technocracy, that's the doctor comes to them and says, look, we got a problem here. What do? They're like, no, there is no problem. There is no problem. You can't be bad. It's going to disrupt society and make China look bad. Well, guess what? You look horrible now. And we need a system that can allow adaptation quickly. And Free expression is a very important part of that. Having said that, though, wouldn't it's fairer to say that we need to incorporate some sort of government-funded communes? And I don't think that they're gonna be good. I wouldn't want to live in a commune, to be honest. But wouldn't it be better if there were a way that we could change it to where the people who don't want to interact like this anymore, to be just a working class person. I love it. I want to continue fighting. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not demeaning the plight of the working class people. I love being a working class, but it's clear that there's a lot of people out there who aren't happy with it. And immigrants could technically, if we could, immigrants that are having a tough time, or just the normal families that are having a tough time, I think they would greatly benefit. Instead of having a welfare system, I think if we had a system where instead of just giving them money, you send them to the commune and give the commune semi-sovereignty, and it could have a farm, it could have some subsidiaries from the government, health care benefits. Maybe more people would want to opt out of the hustle and bustle of being a workhorse or a livestock for a company. I don't know. It would be a cool idea. I would fund it. I could totally help people develop an inner culture or tradition because a secular ideology for it. Anyway, I am the working class guru. If you want to opt out of if you want to opt out of capitalism into one of our government-funded communes subsidized by End Welfare, then go to theworkingclassguru.com, follow and subscribe. I will hear the working class will prevail. Get back to work. I am your host, the Working Class Guru.